They say you are what you eat, so I don't eat chicken feet. But I love me some of Grandma's pickled beets. Well, cut it up, put it in the pan, throw it over your shoulder and see where it lands right here in Farmer's Kitchen. Maters, taters, beans and corn, the cows in the barn and the sheep's been shorn, kids in the barnyard chasing Grandpa's chicken. Spices, slices, cuts and dices, gonna slash your grocery prices right here in Farmer's Kitchen. Help you grow your garden good with recipes to suit your mood. Try some grub you've never tried before. Smash it with a wooden mallet, gonna educate your palate. Right here in Farmer's Kitchen, in Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen. We're gonna cook something good now.
Hello and welcome to the Farmer's Kitchen. We're the farmers. This is our kitchen. Are you hungry, Mrs. Farmer?
I'm starving.
You know what? When it comes to cooking, there's no right and there's no wrong. If it pleases you, then that's the thing you need to do. But you know what, in all seriousness, your kitchen is your mad scientist area. And we practice and we play and we experiment all the time. And what we found out recently is a couple of tricks that we're going to show you today. One of the things is we're using olive oil. If we deep fry, we use olive oil. Low temperatures. Now, the thing about it is, extra virgin olive oil, do you know what the smoke point is?
What is the smoke point?
410 degrees, it's higher than you think.
Wow.
When I fry anything, I never go above 300. People say, oh, you can't get done at 300. Yes, you can. You got to know how long. And again, I'm going to refer back to Grandma. When Grandma cooked her chicken in her electric skillet, it wasn't a 10-minute process at 400 degrees.
Right.
She turned it over.
Took hours, it seemed like, yes.
You smelled it, that heavenly chicken. So we're going to show you today some things that we use. When I make an omelet, one time somebody said, well, of course it's the perfect omelet because it's almost floating in olive oil. What is better for you than a teaspoon of olive oil?
That's right.
I do that intentionally. If you take and put about that much olive oil and put you 4 eggs, if you want a huge omelet, it's going to be perfect at low heat.
You do a good omelet.
Low heat, remember that. Now what happens when you keep the temperature down on the olive oil, it retains some of the health benefits.
That's right.
Once you get it up to the smoke point or past, you don't have anything good. When you're doing that low cook, everybody thinks 350, 375, and then they usually get past that and they're done on the outside.
Me.
Yes, and fire alarms are going off and everybody's crying and the dog's running around.
Yeah.
So just remember that. Slow and slow, and you'll get there. Now recently we were freezer diving. So what happens when we see something on sale?
You buy too much of it.
You buy it too.
I buy like one, you buy 10.
If you see it on sale, pop it in your freezer. Especially if it's got a due date coming due fairly quickly and they mark it halfway.
Right.
Put it in the freezer. We were freezer diving and we found some cod. And I thought, man, we got to use this. So I posted a picture of the cod on our Facebook page. We'll show you this post. And golly, the response was automatic.
Because it looks amazing and it tastes amazing.
So I thought we're going to do that on the show. They asked us to, so we will. So here we are with our freezer cod. Tell you what we're going to do. Let's get our beans started because it takes longer than anything. Now, we make our own bacon. Here's a picture of us curing our own bacon in our own kitchen. And if you haven't done that,
so good.
What's it taste like?
Like sugar candy.
Beautiful, wonderful, sugar cured bacon.
It's the best bacon ever. It's like candy almost.
There's nothing like it. Now let me show you a little trick we did. Nick, if you can grab that. Now we have taken some of my homemade bacon. Look at this right here. Now something else we did, while this bacon was going at about 325 for about 20 minutes, I went ahead and put some peppers and onions on this plate and let it soak up some of that bacon grease because this is pasture-raised pork. We know where it came from. So a little bacon grease is just a wonderful thing. So what we're going to do, because we've got our bacon out right here, we're going to take our red bell pepper and onions, which have been over here essentially cooking, because we wanted to use this. We didn't want to turn our stove on tonight. We got everything done right here. So I'm going to break this bacon up, put these pieces of pepper and onion in this with a little bacon grease. That's going to be the base of our beautiful baked beans. So what we're going to do is take our already cooked peppers and onions
And bacon grease.
and bacon grease.
A little bit of grease
You
in
gotta
there, too.
have that taste.
Good.
That'd be good, yeah. So now we're gonna take our bacon, and you can use as much bacon as you want. This was probably, what, 6 or 8 pieces
Yeah.
of our bacon?
And between what you and Kelly snuck and ate, there were 8 pieces. I think we're down to 6.
Well, you can't stand around and
right.
starve to death.
Do you want these little or kind of bigger? Does it matter?
That looks about right.
Not good?
Oh,
Yummy.
Oh. I just hope that some of y'all, we know some of you do it,
Make your own bacon.
but to make your own bacon is just a wonderful, you can do a 3-day, you can do a 5-day, you can do a 7-day cure.
Yummy.
And all those recipes we have out there.
It smells good
Now that in
already.
itself would be delicious,
But
but we're gonna do better than that. So we're talking 28 ounces of whatever kind of beans you like. You can cook them yourself, or you can buy just a very bland store-bought pork and beans and make them your own deal. So another thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna come in, gotta have some sorghum
that's right.
or some molasses. Oh, that just reminds me of old-fashioned stuff right there. We did a show with a fella not too long ago. He calls it sorghum. Country fella, just as wonderful as he could be out in Casey County. I'm gonna put about 2 tablespoons of that
Is that
in
enough?
there. Yeah.
Some barbecue.
I'm gonna take some of my barbecue sauce. I'm gonna put, you don't want to be soupy. I'm gonna put that's probably 1/4 of a cup in there. Now I'm gonna take some of my dry rub and I'm gonna put in here because it's got all the flavors I need to enhance this.
It smells
Now,
good
if you
already,
wanted
yes.
to, you could put some brown sugar in there. Give me, yeah, those 2. Yep, perfect. Yep, just sprinkle that around.
Enough?
Now we're gonna put that in the oven at about 350 and we're gonna go for about 2 hours.
Ready?
Oh,
Yummy?
taste. Can you do? So if I did next week a beer batter recipe, it might be different from the one I did a year ago or 6 months ago or 2 weeks ago.
You always do different.
But the base thing that I always remember and I always stick to is I start off with 1.5 cups of self-rising flour.
Right.
Not all-purpose, self-rising. And I will add a little bit of baking soda, about 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda and baking powder to
Right.
make sure we get a poofy batter. Because if you're gonna make a beer batter, you may as well have a beer batter
That's right.
that's delicious. Now, one thing I've started to add over the years is a little cornstarch for that firmness and that delicious
Yeah,
texture that
yes.
you wanna get. So tonight's beer batter is gonna be a little bit different because how many of you like lemon with your fish?
Yum.
A bunch of you, would you imagine?
Yes.
You think about any fish that you put in the oven with butter
Right.
and lemon
Gotta have
and
lemon.
garlic. That's a pretty good start.
Right.
So what we're gonna do tonight is start off with our 1.5 cups of flour, 4 tablespoons of cornstarch, a little bit of baking powder, a little bit of baking soda, and lemon pepper.
How simple.
Now the reason I did this lemon pepper on this particular batch is because we've been having a lot of Cajun mixes and a little bit spicy mixes. You're not caring about anything being
I don't
real
need it super hot.
Now you think about lemon pepper in itself, it's not just lemon and pepper. It's lemon flavoring, and it's pepper, and it's garlic, and it's onion, and other spices. So I thought, what would happen if I took this and put quite a bit of it and let that be the main part of my seasoning with a little salt and with the beer for that nice, mellow, yeasty taste, and then just a little bit of hot sauce. Just a little bit. Now, it's not
Okay,
going to make it
just
hot,
very little,
I
okay.
promise. It just gives it that nice little, just a little bit of cayenne flavor in there.
So I won't eat it.
Promise
That way you get all of it, right?
I promise
Okay,
you,
promise.
it's not hot.
Okay.
So what we're going to do, and I'll let you get the whisk out, Mrs. Farmer.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and add our cornstarch. So we're also going to take some russet potatoes. I've washed these 2, and we're going to show you how under 300 degrees you can make nice crispy fries.
Yeah.
What color do you like your fries?
Like brownish.
Brown and crunchy. So we're going to try and strive tonight for crispy fries without any tricks. Not soaking them on ice or anything, just cutting them, putting them in. And we're going to take,
How much you get? Ooh.
we're going to put
Make
quite
it,
a bit.
season it up.
Now this particular lemon pepper mix doesn't have any salt in it, so we're going to add a little salt. Now this is coming out real slow. I'm not putting a whole lot of salt in there, but you do have to have a little salt. So we're watching our oil heat up, and again, we do not want to get anywhere near that smoke point. just don't want to do it. So what we're going to do is mix all that up. We got some salt in there. Now we're going to come in with 12 ounces of beer. And you want this to be a rather thick mixture. You don't want it to be runny because you want it to stick. Because when I have a beer batter, that just so accentuates the fish. And that's as important as the fish itself, I think.
Smells so good.
I know it.
Smell that
just,
lemony.
just that right there. Now you can see where we're at mixture-wise. This is thick still. I'm gonna take a little bit of that hot sauce. And again, that's not gonna make that hot at all.
That's a lot of hot sauce.
I promise.
All
I
right.
would not
All right.
ever lead you astray.
Okay.
Unless there's money involved.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna mix that in there. So you have the lemon smell,
And
you have
hot
a little bit of
sauce.
cayenne smell, you got the beer smell, and it just makes something that's just kind of absolutely wonderful. All right, now watch this. Look where this is at.
That's
You can
nice
see
and
this
thick.
is
Yeah.
thick. It's barely running off of there. And we are now up to almost 280, so we're getting close. I'm gonna take what I call the tenderloin piece right here. Look at that,
That's the best piece, isn't it?
look at that.
Yummy.
Let's take the 2 tenderloins out here of our freezer diving cod. And I'm gonna show you a couple tricks. Now, why do I have this external thermometer on here? Because I do not trust the electronic devices on board, because many times I always check them. They can be 10 to 20, 30 degrees off. So I want to be very careful. Now look how thick that is. You're thinking that's too much. Look what I'm gonna do. I don't want to make sure every square inch of that is covered. Use my hands because it's going in the grease. Look at that beautiful, beautiful thick batter. And that's about how I want it to look. Now when I bring it over here, I'm gonna hold it there and let it swim just a little bit. If it takes off and tries to get away, probably turn it loose.
Yeah, you
Don't
should.
think? Give it another chance in the ocean. But what I'm gonna do is let that cook just a little bit while I'm holding it. So what's that do? That keeps it off the bottom from getting in that grate and hanging on to it. So it lets it go ahead and start cooking, and that way that'll bring it up and let it stay on top. And what happens too, if you have a thick batter like this, the batter stays on instead of floating all over the place. Again, I'm gonna let it swim just a little bit. Now that right now is only about 280 degrees because of the coolness of the fish, and that'll bring it right back up. And it's floating because I've let that bottom cook just a little bit, just enough to keep it up off the bottom from getting stuck. We've been together a long time.
Yeah.
When you think about me catching fish with somebody else, what shortly follows?
A fish fry. And
And
friends.
Friends.
I love getting together with
And
friends.
family.
That's right.
The best part of the whole deal. Those memories from a kid come back. Took a buddy of mine and went down towards Cumberland, fished with a buddy named Corey and caught some crappie. Then we came back, talked a little bit with Corey about crappie fishing, and then what did we do?
We had a fish fry.
We had a fish fry. You can't stop us. We're out of control.
That's right.
Corey,
Yeah,
you got a boat.
right?
You got a choice.
Yep,
You fish all over the United States.
correct.
You could fish anywhere you want, but why crappie in Dale Hollow?
I choose to guide on Del Hollow. I'm blessed. It's a great lake. It's got the biggest black nose crappie. You got to see some of them today. And I mean, they're huge and it's so scenic. But the real thing, the reason I've got year-round guiding down there, the lake only fluctuates 10 feet from summer to winter. And, you know, stable water, great spawns, and big fish.
Everything we do comes to the kitchen.
Right.
What is it about? I've had crappie
Yep.
out of warm water that seem to be kind of mushy.
Mushy, yeah.
What is the deal with these crappies?
Oh, see, well, you notice when we were cleaning them, and I talked about it earlier on
Firm.
today, the firmness, the texture, it's almost like a walleye texture, and it's white as snow. And these fish is deep, clear water. There's no industry on that lake. It's the best water quality you're ever going to find, and the product will reflect it.
And how sad is it that we have to eat these wonderful crappie tonight? It's terrible. I have to fish and then I have to eat it.
I mean,
This is just terrible.
somebody's got to do it,
Somebody's got to do it.
and it might as well be you.
And you are the man.
Yeah,
Thank
man, I
you so
enjoyed it,
much.
man. I had a
No,
great
I
time.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, man. Anytime.
All right, now Nikki's cutting our beautiful, ooh, that looks good.
That's
our
a good one.
beautiful yellow onion, yellow sweet onion. Now that, watch the way that's working over here. That's only about 290 degrees. Look at that. Now, I think it takes about 12, 13 minutes to get it cooked all the way through. And I checked the temperature out on the inside. It's way above where it needs to be, just for about 12 minutes. We have so many new people coming on board all around the country, all over the place that are seeing our shows for the first time. This might be old to some of you, but it's gonna be new to a lot of you. This is our Hush Puppy mix. I've always made Hush Puppies. Jim Doom makes some tremendous Hush Puppies. So we're gonna go, and you gotta have buttermilk, I think.
You do.
So Mrs. Farmer, if you will, explain that to us
All right.
while I'm watching the fish.
I have a cup of yellow cornmeal, half a cup of self-rising flour, a little over a quarter cup of onion, maybe more than that.
You gotta have
However
onions.
much you like, that's all right. I have 3/4 a cup of buttermilk, an egg, and how much sugar you want in there? I got about three tablespoons there. You want to put all that in?
Now here's the deal. People have varying ideas about Hush Puppies. I remember the Hush Puppies I had in the South. When my parents would go to church all around the country,
Yeah.
during association meetings, we'd go to Alabama, we'd go to Mississippi, and you know what I remember? Sweet, sweet Hush Puppies. As a kid, I couldn't hardly stand it. It was so sweet.
I want all of it then.
So
3 tablespoons.
this is almost like dessert.
That's right.
If you don't want any sugar, don't put any sugar in. This is the way I had them as a kid in the deep South.
So we
And
got
people
to
say,
do it.
oh, they don't put sugar in cornbread in the South. Well, these are Hush Puppies, and I like them with
We're
sugar.
gonna-
You can put as much as you want. If you want to put 42 pounds of sugar in there, you
Wow,
can.
that's a lot of
It may
sugar.
make it set up different, but I'm going to put maybe 2 tablespoons
All
in
right.
because I like my Hush Puppies sweet. When it combines with that buttermilk and that bit of sweet and those onions, those
Mm-hmm.
sweet onions, it's something special. So the baked beans are going.
Mm-hmm.
The fish is going. 2 beautiful russets right here. What are you going to do with your Hush Puppy stuff?
Put them in the fridge for a while.
For about 20 minutes.
Right, and I've already made one, so we're going to pull the one out that's already been sitting. Let me get that for you.
All right, so here's what it looks like after it's chilled. Now,
take
if I
care
can
of this
get you
for
to peel those beautiful russet
I'll do it.
potatoes, this fish is getting close. Are you excited?
I'm very
Let me see you
excited.
excited like. That's exciting. So look at this. Now it'll tell you when it's done. It'll come up and it'll float, and it'll be a lot less bubbles. And I want you to look at that beautiful piece of cod and that beautiful beer batter.
Lemon pepper cod. I love it.
Lemon pepper beer batter. Now let's look at that beautiful piece of yellow sweet onion. Now there's a reason too, I want this batter thick. I hate little old wispy, nothing onion ring batters. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you like a big
Everything's
onion
falling
ring,
off.
don't you?
And I
Yeah.
want to stay on there. So that's why I leave this thick. And look, right here, same thing. Let it try to swim away and then let it float. Now that went to the bottom, but it'll be right back up. So we're gonna do a couple onion rings.
How those look?
Now you're gonna have a little, oh, it's already floating. Look at that.
Already
Now
floating?
that, see that batter?
Oh, wow.
It's not going anywhere because it's thick and it's on there. I'm dripping up enough here so it's not ridiculous. But man, I want some crunch. I want some batter if I got onion rings. And what do you think that lemon
Oh, that's going to be good on the onion ring, too.
and the hot sauce, the combinations of the flavor on these, oh my. Last week we were talking and I asked folks, I said, hey, if you'd like to ask us some questions because we're doing a new show this Thursday, we usually shoot on Thursday nights, and folks responded. So do you want to help me answer some questions?
Oh, sure will. They're easy.
Tiffany Gibbons, my favorite part of the show is the chemistry between Mr. Farmer and Mrs. Farmer.
Aw.
You two look to be truly happy together and like you're always having fun.
We are, because we're
We
eating.
do.
Because we're eating.
Not too long ago, somebody said, do y'all ever fight? And I said, yes, amazingly. We have wonderful fights.
But I win.
She always wins.
I always win.
Kay Choir says, I look forward to watching your show each week. Your fresh recipes, joy of cooking, and sharing your home makes us feel like we're friends sitting around a table.
Well, that's nice.
And that's what we like.
Yeah,
Our show is real. It's not scripted. If you see us in the kitchen, you're seeing us do what we do when we make dinner. Okay, Sherry Horning says, I've been enjoying your show for years. One thing I've always loved about you two is it's obvious when it comes to food, you'll try anything. So I'm curious, what's the most unusual food you've ever eaten? And I was reminded of how I tried lobster the first time when she met us and Kelly at the Seafood Festival in Newport, Kentucky. She said, not as brave as you two trying new things, but trying to branch out a little bit. Keep up the good work. So what is it for you, maybe the most unusual thing you've ever eaten?
I love everything. Well, I just had frog legs the other day. I love frog legs. And that sounds kind of weird when you think of them being in a gross little pond, but I love everything. So do you.
You know what? Probably the thing that we made for folks in a live show one time
Oh yeah.
was the octopus.
Yeah, that's
we made a
right.
ceviche out of it, and wasn't that delicious?
You serve tongue. I'm not a tongue fan.
Yeah. I love
You
beef
like
tongue.
that though, yeah.
Ed Detmer says, my question is, how many TV shows have you done since 2012? And how many live shows have you done? Kelly, how many shows do you think we've done? Hundreds? So you think 2012, that
Wow.
was 11 years ago. So you average, say, 40 shows a year? What is
That's
it,
a lot of
Kelly?
shows.
300 to 400 shows.
That's a lot of shows.
Wow. Thanks for playing along. That was fun. I love it when people ask questions. I wish, the one thing I do wish, is they could smell what our kitchen smells like right
know.
now with those baked beans
That's
going in the
right.
background. Oh, here's the
They're
two
kissing.
joined at the hip. Now that's, those aren't your store-bought frozen variety.
look good.
Those are the real deal. Now you know what we need?
Hush puppies.
Hush puppies or French fries?
Oh, I don't know. What do you think?
Let's go ahead and drop some fries.
Okay.
Yeah, I got me this little handy dandy cutter.
You like your
Wonderful,
cutter, don't you?
Wonderful for the warm guy.
He loves his cutter.
I just love the fact that I can just push on this right here and look what comes out. Isn't that great?
That is great.
You take these fries,
Jeez.
same temperature. It only takes about, I think, 9 or 10 minutes for them to start browning up. All right, you have to be the judge. Are these brown enough?
Those look pretty good. Yes.
Pretty good?
Yes. Those look. Have you tried one?
So does that mean
I
a
could
little
eat
bit more?
those. I could eat
You're
those.
good to go?
I could eat those.
Look,
Yes.
these are not soggy French fries.
Those look
They're hitting the
perfect.
sides and they're rigid.
Those look perfect.
They are not
I'm excited about those.
floppy French fries. So we're gonna put that on a plate, salt them just a little bit. Look at this.
Wow, I'm excited.
That's
with those.
what you want.
me try
That's what you want. How did you eat that? It's
Oh,
hot.
it wasn't that bad. It was a little tiny one. The little baby ones you can eat.
You're amazing. All right, now let's set that up front. Let's put a little salt on there. So now real quick like, I'm gonna dip my ice cream scoop in the oil. These are our magic hush
Hush
puppies.
puppies.
And they don't have to be any particular shape. We just want them to be
Tastes good.
delicious. Look at this.
Yum.
Look at this beautiful spread. This is something that you get in a restaurant.
That's right.
Except it's probably a little bit healthier. We use extra virgin olive oil.
So, yeah.
Somebody's gonna say, what brand do you use? The cheapest we can find.
Exactly, yeah, I
In
don't-
bulk. And
yes.
there's some good brands
Yes.
out there that you can find in bulk sometimes. This French fry, when you pick it up, does it bend?
No.
Nope.
That's mine.
I know you love those. What do you want more than anything off this platter?
The onion rings for some reason.
Here. Well, you want
You
some
eat
of
the
that?
big one. No, I just want to taste
No
the onion ring.
sauce?
Nope, just want to taste the onion ring. I love the coat, that lemon pepper coating on it. That's the best onion ring ever.
Now, nobody wants to hear eating noises,
Mm.
but I'm sure you're aware of that crunch that's still going on.
I want to try one of these. Can I try? Mm-hmm. I'm ready to try a hush puppy. Those look how perfect those turned out with your little
Oh, yeah.
scoop.
Look at that. Look
Mm.
at that beautiful cornmeal in there.
Tastes like something you get at the fair.
We know where our
Oh, my
cornmeal
goodness.
comes from. Know where your food comes from.
Oh, that's so good. I like the extra sugar.
Look at that.
The sugar in it makes it delicious. That's like a donut. Okay, it tastes like a donut.
Oh, and those sweet onions. You want the first bite?
I do.
Go ahead. Right in there is a good.
This looks good and crunchy.
Hey. Look at this.
Mm.
I want you to look at the interior of that fish. Perfectly done, perfect temperature. I'm gonna go for a little bit. I didn't dip the part we ate on.
Sorry, I love the lemon pepper flavor on that fish. That's delicious.
Still moist.
Wow. Can I try
The
those?
baked beans are beautiful.
Those look so good.
This is, food evokes memories
That bacony flavor is really good
with
in
our
that.
homemade bacon.
That's really good with the bacon flavor in it.
Oh,
That's going to be my favorite beans now too.
tastes like Kentucky sorghum in there. We've taken all these things together that we've done over time, and we've put them in one spot. And this sauce here, if you want to do a dipping sauce, I found something that you can take ketchup, Thousand Island dressing, a little bit of mayonnaise, and some Cajun seasoning.
Delicious.
And what do you have? You have magic. And you can dip, I really love the onion rings in
So
there.
do I.
And you're not dipping in it, so I'm gonna.
I like them
I'm gonna
too.
eat it all.
I like the lemony flavor on the onion ring.
You know what? If you see these recipes and you think, oh my goodness, I would sure like to try that. Ms. Farmer, is there any place on earth you can find these recipes?
You can.
All gazillion of them?
All gazillion, TimFarmersCountryKitchen.com.
Now, we also have a very active Facebook page. Lots of folks get on there. At this time, Mrs. Farmer, it's time for me to shut my big yapper and start cramming food in it. That means it's all about
Good times.
good friends.
And really good eats.
We'll see you next week on Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen. Dig in, Ms. Farmer.
Funding for Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen is brought to you by Boone Contracting. Dream, design, build. We build your dreams. Lexington. Wilderness Road Hospitality, Stanford, Kentucky. Buck's Grill, cooking for the folks since 2008. Maysville, Kentucky. Ephraim McDowell Medical Center in Danville, Kentucky. Gulf Coast Connection, seafood straight from the Gulf to you.